Imagine you're working in Confluence for a couple of years, you have hundreds of pages. You don't know which one to archive, which one's expired, which one was never looked at. And now you have to spend months going over them to clean them up. That's a big problem, but we have a solution. Hey guys, welcome to Define Agile. This is Anatoly. Here we're talking everything Agile, Agile tools. Today we're going to talk about Confluence and we're going to talk about content archiving, which is a very important topic that often is overlooked. When our Confluence grows a lot, we need a ways how to archive it, how to keep it fresh, so that when you search for things, you don't have the same pages coming over. It's easier to find and it serves as a living documentation what's happening in your company. It's not easy to do. There are probably PhDs written how to archive your content. There's a startup guide that I want to provide you. It's in a description. Please check it out. Today we're going to look at the app called Better Content Archiving for Confluence, which will help us automate a bunch of things and make sure that our Confluence staying fresh. I'm going to show you 3 reasons why it's better than existing Confluence, and the last one will save you tons of money, tons of time, tons of stress. So please watch until the end. Okay, so here's my Confluence. I want to start with showing you the app, the pricing, and then we're going to go into main features that I think you should know for this app. Let's go check out the app first. Here is the app that's going to be linked up top in the description. They have a free trial, so you can always try it for free. There's a bunch of information about the app, but I'm going to show you the most important things today. Anyway, let's go right away to the pricing. For 10 users, it's absolutely free. If you have, let's say, 50 users, you have a big company, it's $1 per user. And you might say, Anatoly, should I pay a $1 per content archiving? Well, let's do a quick napkin math. Let's take a Sally. Let's say Sally's our junior project manager. We're paying her only $20 per hour, which is not a lot for this position. And let's say we say, Sally, you need to clean this all up. And let's say Sally is amazing, but probably even the most amazing person will take about 2 weeks to clean up something that has hundreds of pages, because you need to go to everybody, find out what's working, what's not working, archive it one by one. It takes a lot of time. So we're staying very optimistic for her 2 weeks. So let's say Sally's working 7.5 hours, and she's working 2 weeks, so 10 days. You're paying $1,500 for Sally to do that, and which is way more than 50. The annual one here is, so you can buy like 3 years of this for a one-time Sally needs to clean it up manually. So it's definitely make complete sense. But let me show you exactly why I like about it and why it saves us so much time and so much stress. Let's go back to my Confluence. I'm going to show you a few things. So Confluence allows you to set up an owner of a page, which is pretty recent. Better Content Archiving for Confluence had much longer, so they have different mechanism to do that. But if Sally, let's say, wants to change ownership, let's say Anatoly left the company and she needs to change ownership from Anatoly to Mark. Let's say we have a retrospective notes with hundreds of notes. She'll go and say change owner, and she'll put Mark in here. And she'll change owner. Amazing, respective notes owned by Mark, and then she'll go and check if it worked for, let's say, one of the retro notes. Oh no, those child pages were not change owners, so now I'm still owner. Anatoly is still owner here. So now she has to go for, let's say, 100 of retrospective notes and change owner every single one of them, which is a waste of time. Let's see how Better Content Archiving for Confluence is doing that. So they have this widget. If you click on the status, right now I have up to date, you click on that. They still show owner Anatoly because those two are not related to each other. And Better Content Archiving for Confluence allows you to do way more than the Confluence itself. Let's look at that. So I can click on 3 dots, I click set owner. And first of all, I can select a content owner for this particular page, and I can set a content tree owner. So Sally doesn't have to go through hundreds of those pages. She can do it just once. And second of all, I can add multiple people, which is really good, because if you want to send notification to people, then you don't have to manually set up to send notification to Mark as well. You can put as many owners here as you want, and they all will get your notifications. So that's cool. So let's set content tree owner as, let's say, change it to Mark. And content owner, let's change it to Mark as well. Let's click set. So here we see that the owner is Mark. And then if we go to any of the retrospective notes, let's go to one. Here's the owner's mark as well. See, with one click, we're able to go and change ownership of all those retro nodes. If it's 100 pages, it doesn't matter. You can change ownership of all of them, which saves you lots and lots of time already. Now, the other important part is status. Status allows us to see what is happening with that page. And Confluence, by default, only have 5 statuses available. Let's go see them. So we go to Space Settings. We go to Content Statuses. So here you see you can only have 5 statuses, like I can delete PO review, then I can add another one. And maybe for somebody it's fine, but there are so many options. What if that's archive, expired? What if there's nobody looked at it? There are so many more ways how you can represent it. But also it's important that in better content archiving for Confluence, you can automate those statuses and they will automatically show what's happening on the page without you having to do anything at all. You don't have to manually change those statuses. Let me show you how it works. So you see 5 statuses here. Let's go to Better Content Archiving for Confluence. I'll go to Space Settings again. And I'll click on Integrations, Better Content Archiving. You can go to Content Status Schemes right here. I'm now at the space level, but if we go to the main administration, you can select the Choose Scheme, Manage Schemes, and here we are. So you can assign a scheme to a space. It will automatically use a scheme. So you can create multiple schemes for that are important for you with different content archiving rules, and they will be applied and you can reuse them as much as you want. By default, we have General Content Status Scheme. Let me look at that. Here we go. This is a default scheme. So importantly here that you can add 20 status instead of 5, so you can add way more, but also you can add Confluence query language that will automatically detect if it meets certain criteria. It will set up status for you, so completely automated. You don't have to do anything. If you want something, if you want to show that nobody's viewing your pages, you can select a query, last viewed on more than, let's say, 100 days, and it will apply not viewed for a long time. And then you can query that, or you can just delete them if nobody viewed them for a long time. How much time will that save? If you can see all the pages that nobody's viewing, then you can just go and delete them or archive them. That will save you lots and lots of time. So I think that this is very powerful. Let me show you how that works. We'll manually set a page, and I'll show you that the status will apply by default. So I'm going to go back to my space. So here we are. Let me go to one of our retrospective nodes. It says expiration day passed. I also like that it has this hint for me, this con expired, no specific pass date, so you know why it is expired. But you also can manually set the archiving date. So let's say go set archiving, and then let's put it in a past. Let's say it archived. It needs to, the archiving date is, let's say, 2 days ago. I'll set it. You see, because it met the criteria, the status, by definition, changed to to archive. So now it will automatically be archived. We're going to talk about it in a second. And the status changed to archive. So it automatically picked it up. So you can set up the rule where if, let's say, the content were not viewed for 100 days, we put it to expire. And if it's in to expire for another 100 days, we'll set it to archive. So it automatically can do all of this. So Sally doesn't have to do anything at all. She can set up the initial rules and then watch how it all comes together beautifully. The other thing is notification, which is very important. That keeps that helps to keep people accountable. Let's say I have a page and let's say it's expired, nobody's viewing it or something like that. I want to get notifications before it gets archived. So Better Archiving for Confluence allows you to do that very nicely. Let's go check it out. So we go to Space Settings again. We go to Better Content Archiving. They have notification schemes, same as content schemes. Let's check them out again. So let's go to the administration level. So just click Manage Schemes. And here we go. The default one is General Notification Scheme. So I'll click on that. Here's notification scheme. And the cool thing about it, you can create multiple notifications. You can chain them together. They're also activated based on the SQL query, based on schedule that you can set up here as a cron job. and they have a hint how to use the cron jobs. They also have next execution for you to be able to set it up. And there's email templates you select to send to as different emails, and you can select who to notify, which now if you selected multiple content owners, you can just check that and will always send it to one or many content owners, which is very cool. And then you can chain them together. So let's say first your page become expired, you can send an email. Then before you want to archive it, you send an email. Then after you archiving, you want to send an email. So you can send as many emails you want with different email templates that you can set up to different people as well. Maybe you want to send to content owners first, and then if let's say you want to archive it, you send it to content owners and administrators so they know as well. So it's very, very versatile, allows you to do a whole bunch of things. And I love that it all can be automated with a schedule and SQL query as well. And the final one is automation schemes, which brings it all together very nicely. And this automation in Better Content Archiving is working on a similar idea as Confluence automation. Confluence and Jira do have their own automations. We can go and check one. Let me open it. I want to mention one thing. If you don't see this, it's because this automation for Confluence is available only for premium tier. That is pretty expensive. So for the instance like ours with the free users, we're paying about $26 for it, but it does have the trigger and action. So if you want to add specific labels when page is published by a certain author, you have the trigger when published, then you have condition, and then you have the action itself. So the Better Content Archive for Confluence is doing it in a very similar way. Let's go and check it out. So I'm going to go and look at the schemes again. I'm going to manage the scheme. You can assign a scheme again to any spaces you want. Let's click on the default one right now. And again, we can chain them together. This is the schedule, similar to notification, the query, and the action. Right now, they have two actions, archive, delete, and then the smart archive is coming soon. If you have an idea as to what else you want to see here, please put them in the comments down below. Let them know. I'm sure they will check it out and they will listen to your feedback. So right now it's archive and delete, and we see if, so on certain schedule, when the status is to archive, they archived. If the status is to delete, on certain schedule is deletes. So actually doing the action, which comes together very nicely. First, you change your status based on certain SQL query, then you send notification, and then you actually do the work. So this is the full content archiving lifecycle automated for you, so you don't have to spend a lot of time. I'm very excited about this. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I want to thank my Dory, the team behind Better Content Archiving for Confluence, for sponsoring this video and allowing me to share this to you. If you have any questions, put in the comments down below. Let me know how you feel, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.